All right. Yeah, let's go through our highlight reel. So yeah, welcome to week 19 of 2024. And for those of us on Thinkorswim, it's our final week of trading on the relatively pure remnants of Ameritrade. All right. So yeah, we got a meeting coming up later this month, and I believe the write-up is still under development, but it's Brian Overby from the Options Playbook, and I'm not very familiar with his work, but yeah, that's queued up for next Saturday on the 18th at 9 a.m. Awesome. Cool. Idiots of the week. I got a couple of them. We got Mr. Castro Jr. here. And if you don't know what that reference is, well, after the highlight reel, I'll explain. But yes, Castro Jr. here is now offering free passes to migrants. Thank you, Canada. They're super cucked. What else? Larry's gonna be pissed about this. 1/3 of Stanford students are okay with violence to shut down speech. And I mean, they're following after UC Berkeley's footsteps, but yes, so yeah, obviously 1/3 of the students here obviously don't deserve to be there. But yeah. All right, cool. And just a reminder, the book of the month this month is Bill O'Neill's How to Make Money in Stocks. So definitely get your copy, and then we'll set up a book review session towards the end of the month. And yeah, this will go over the Can Slim methodology and still taking suggestions for other books. So we've got it jotted down from our group here and got some movies and documentaries also to watch. And then, but yeah, we'll look at our market overview in just a bit, look at the indexes, the VIX, and yeah, the big players. And then, of course, the CNN Fear and Greed Index is nice and bearish, which I really enjoy as a contrarian. But yeah, I'd imagine most folks are a little nervous. And I've been lurking in the like stocks and business and investing subreddits on the Reddit forums and just reading what the normies without options are thinking about. And yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty and doubt. So to me, that's great. But yeah, we'll definitely look at the Stock Traders Almanac and look at May, June, and July. So we'll look at how summer's shaping up. And I need to, I don't have the other laptop with me, so but I will have it next week. So sorry about that. We can't use the sector rotation tool at the moment. But yeah, we'll have a lot of fun earnings things. We'll definitely talk about that. A lot of consumer spending and travel related things. And I saw this on Wall Street Bets and I loved it. Disney earnings call. It's great. What's the quote? Never meet your heroes. It's like, yeah, he might not be what you expect. Cool. But yeah, lots of travel spending stuff has not done well this week. So we'll take a look, bookings.com, a bunch of things. And we'll take a look at semiconductors. And I see an interesting parallel between sort of the overproduction of chips and the overhiring on the tech sector. So it's layoffs again at a couple rounds. I mean, Tesla's grabbing a lot of headlines, right? But besides their 4 rounds of layoffs in the last 2 weeks, Amazon shedding fat, Google is as well. Cola, easy, buddy. And my 70-pound lapdog is moving like a tectonic plate here. But yeah, so yeah, we'll take a look at semiconductors and overhiring in the tech sector in general. Lots of activity with the retail fish, of course, but we'll take a look at what they're trading. And yeah, getting down to the nuts and bolts, we got a couple boring things here this week. We had a very a bit of a shock of a jobs report, so we'll take a look at that. And then we'll take a look at how U.S. consumers are really performing. And honestly, I mean, every week we look at these facets of data, and it's, gosh, the U.S. consumer is really tapped out. And if the Chinese consumer is any foreshadowing, then the trend will get worse before it improves. So, of course, we have our existing Black Swan list, and I don't think there's any new additions just yet, but we'll take a look at that. And then our theaters of war are roughly about the same, and except Zelensky supposedly dodged an assassination attempt. He still wants more money, and he wants Reaper drones. So, and then there's F-16s inbound at some point soonish. I'm not sure. But yeah, all kinds of excitement there. So yeah, we'll take a look at all of that. We'll talk about the Bank of England. It's more of the same. Dave brought this up yesterday on Discord. You guys probably saw that. This is kind of cool. Top countries for highest rates of crypto ownership. And UAE is top dog. And if you guys have any Arab friends, this is not a big surprise. The Middle Eastern crowds have been very deep into crypto. I definitely know some fellow Semites. So yeah, uh, all kinds of Arabs. I mean, uh, I guess the rarest one are probably like Christian Middle Eastern folks. Those are probably um, a little bit more. I mean, those folks are a little bit more black pilled than the rest. But yeah, well, we'll take a look at those stats. Fun stuff there. Lots of fun domestic news, and again, we'll look at different articles highlighting the U.S. consumer and everything from credit cards to auto repossessions, and we'll take a look at the Manheim Index as well, as it seems that used car prices are collapsing yet again due to more supply and less demand just because discretionary spending is having some problems. But yeah, again, we'll take a look at travel issues. And gosh, Boeing has had crazy headlines this week. Boeing 737 crashes in Africa. Boeing 767 cargo plane crash lands in Turkey. It is it is epic. And if you don't have a soft short going on Boeing, like I don't know what you're doing, man. So yeah, to take a look at that. But yeah, as we mentioned earlier, we'll take a look at car stuff and yeah, pivoting to real estate. Lots of fun things happening with the commercial contagion. So fun stuff there. We'll take a look at New York City, which is the second worst commercial market after San Francisco. And pivoting to tech, lots of fun things. We'll take a look at the ARM earnings. And Sam Altman is selling nuclear power, which is kind of unexpected. And yeah, we'll take a look at this. And then we'll take a look at Apple for a second and look at Warren Buffett's significant investment there. And there's some other relevant news. And the words Apple and discount usually do not go in the same sentence, but it seems that Apple's backtracking and in their attempts to boost China sales, they have been discounting. And Chinese consumers have responded positively, relatively speaking. Cool. And then we'll look at that recent jobs report, and initial jobless claims did spike. And I guess this report was a little bit less doctored than usual. And on the international front, lots of wild things. So we'll look at the UK across the pond and look at, this almost reads like a Chinese headline from 2 years ago, right? Regional bank failures, every day, every week, maybe two a week. I mean, this is why, it seems like, we're on the cutting edge because, we're a little bit more focused on Chinese news, I guess thanks to me. And it has really foreshadowed a lot of things that we're seeing. So yeah, cool. We'll definitely look at Putin's recent actions. And yeah, if you could catalog us as a poker player, he is the very stoic guy that just keeps folding everything. But when he does play a hand, he only plays, pocket rockets or better. And yeah, the guy doesn't bluff. Cool. And then we'll take a look at the Japanese yen. And if you've been following the yen like I have, clearly we need to go to Japan. So, it's 159 to 1. And I don't know if we can wait till summer weather cools down, but we just need to get there and have some fun there and go eat sushi in Kyoto or something. Cool. And then speaking of Ukraine, nothing says strength and bullishness like recruiting soldiers from the dregs of your labor pool. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. And I read that some 700,000 military-aged men have fled from the Ukraine to avoid this mass conscription. All right, cool. And then I found some interesting stats about studying abroad international students as well as global remittances. And then this got me thinking about the H-1B situation in America, and I got some cool data for us to look at specific to California. And it includes wage data, which is actually a bit unexpected. So take a look at that. And then I saw this article bubble up, which was a kind of a deep dive on Jeff Bezos's grandfather, which is very interesting. Generally speaking, this guy basically helped invent the internet. And it's ironically, his son is one of the biggest internet entrepreneurs to ever do it. It kind of shatters that, Jeff Bezos was just, coding humbly in his garage while he was balding in his 20s. And he just, worked hard, made it big. Like that's been sold to us, but that's often actually not the case. And if you know about like Bill Gates' family history, with his mom on the IBM board, which helped him secure his first IBM contract, as well as his dad being a IP lawyer, and among other things, like it was not as organic as it seemed. But that's often the illusion that's sold to us that, hey, it's a meritocracy. You can get there. Like, not really, but we'll kind of dive deeper. But yeah, and I thought this had an interesting, good link to the Shogun series, which again, like I've just been like rewatching clips of that, and I'm just fascinated by um just the whole show. But yeah, we'll talk about that. And then pivoting oil and commodities, looks like the lollipop spending for votes will continue, and Biden's going to go to the gasoline savings in attempt to bribe more voters. And if you're also like me and you probably responsibly paid off your school loans back in the day, to see screenshots of folks, bragging on Reddit and whatnot that their school loans are wiped out, I get a little upset. But yeah, um, it is what it is. But yeah, we're punishing the producers. But yeah, other than that, Dr. Copper, our prognosticator for the S&P, is having extreme tightness, and we'll take a look at that if we can. The article is a premium article, so I couldn't get to that, but we can try to look at the future side, the general prices. Other than that, in the metals market, we'll take a look at premiums. And there was a recent very large finding of some 2,300 silver bars that was on the way to South Africa. And a private guy found it, but South Africa claimed ownership because it was not delivered successfully. And this guy has been hung out to dry. So kind of a bummer, but this sounds like something I would do. So I'm definitely paying attention. So yes, do not try to salvage the wrong sovereign, I guess, metals on the ocean floor. But yeah. What else is fun? Lots of China news. We'll take a look at that. We'll talk about the EV dumping that's showing up in a lot of Euro ports. We'll talk briefly about the China-Oregon trade, and we'll talk about Tesla's future plans with testing robo-taxis algo in China. And if you've ever even been to China, Chinese driving should inspire fear and dread. So do you really want that algo on US streets? Not really. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. And then more gain of function research is still being conducted. And this is with Ebola of all things. So nothing to fear at all. And China is still the greatest jailer of journalists on the planet, in case you were wondering. And Chinese military spending, this is kind of a dumb article. The lady was just guessing, so this is stupid. But we'll just take a look at the at least officially reported and the projections by U.S. think tanks on military spending overall. And then meanwhile, we'll take a look at the Russian commodity side, which is trying to flip oil to its middlemen through India and South Korea. And it seems like people are getting a little shy of doing this because this week, the US has slapped brand new sanctions on Russia and includes a couple dozen Chinese firms because they've been double dealing under the table and been supplying raw materials and weapons to Russian military forces. So that's been unhappy on the U.S. side, and the U.S. side again, has sanctioned those Chinese firms already, and has threatened potentially to kick China off the SWIFT system. And roughly 60% of all of China's cash settlements in USD, at least, are using the current SWIFT system. So this would be a huge blow, and they might rethink their strategy with that on the table. So yeah, so that's a highlight reel. So we'll go through all of that hopefully before 12. And yeah, let's check the chat. And oh, thanks, Ross. We'll take a look at Copper Dare. And then let me drop the session notes again for all of you guys. And we got a couple of new folks that also joined. Oh, cool. Welcome, Alan and Dave. So yeah, now that we got most of the gang here, let's try to iron out tomorrow. So who is available for lunch tomorrow? We just need to figure out location and who's coming. So Alan's in town, so we want to hang out. So far it's me, Alan, and Linda. Is anyone else free in the Bay Area tomorrow for lunch?
I can be.
We could do a dim sum run.
Sorry, what was that, Kurt? I think I missed you.
I can be.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So, okay, yeah, so that's Kurt, me, and Linda and Alan. Okay, awesome. Let me just jot that down, and then I got everyone's phone number, so I'll text you guys. Cool. And if you guys are free to midday tomorrow, just let us know. Happy to invite the team. And then maybe I can also open this up to the greater Discord folks, since a lot of folks they can't make it to Thursday. But yeah, let's see. Kurt, Linda, me, and Alan. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, so yeah, let's jump into our Idiot of the Week. So yeah, Justin Trudeau is now discriminating against Canadian citizens, and yeah, he's gonna give free passes to illegals, and this is valued up to $151 per season, I guess. And this obviously, like, we're not going to talk about the CCP the marijuana farms on national forest land or BLM or in the Canadian forest, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with this. And then if you don't get my cash roll reference, let me show you guys what this is. Okay, on paper, Justin Trudeau's dad is Pierre Trudeau, but they look nothing like each other. And functionally, so yeah, so let me try to enlarge this. Okay. So Pierre Trudeau on the left, middle column, Justin, the actual true child of Fidel Castro, which is on the right column. And yes, his mom was in Castro. They've met multiple times. There's pictures. And Donald Trump even wrote about this in one of his books, which is how I knew about it years ago. And yeah, the jawline, the facial symmetry, it's just incredible. This is not a conspiracy. This is a fact. Everyone can deny it as much as they can, but wait till someone grabs the actual like a DNA sample from Justin, and we prove this once and for all. But yeah, this really happened. All right, cool. Let me drop this in the chat if you guys want to take a look at that. But yeah, this is Castro Jr. I mean, just look at that face. Like, come on. It's not Pierre, all right? And his mom is a known, how do I be respectful? She's a socialite. What can I say? And she was, and her husband was very busy and not around. All right. Cool. So that's Idiot of the Week number 1. And then yeah, here's Stanford. Yeah, ridiculous. Kids are so indoctrinated today. It is unbelievable. So
dude, it's like the fourth wave, but at a college level.
Yeah.
Because they did it in Palo Alto, so Palo Alto High or Palo Alto School. Why not Stanford?
Yeah. Yeah, and then a lot of just higher ed in general is failing. Like big ed is collapsing. So we're seeing that with smaller schools and whatnot. And half of America will obviously push back on this, and we'll see a reshaping of the academia landscape eventually. But yeah, it's no accident that what was it, Columbia University just canceled their commencement for their graduating seniors due to all of the protests. And if you kind of know your like critical race theory history, Columbia University was the first Ivy League to open its doors to the German intellectuals who were basically Bolsheviks 2.0. So that's how academia was initially infiltrated. It was through the sociology department at Columbia University. So it's no accident that today, yeah, they're the most, I guess, they're pushing back the fiercest with the pro-Gaza protests. And again, both sides are funded by the same folks. So it's just useful idiots all over the place. And it's George Soros funded right now at the grassroots level. So it's just bizarre. So yeah. Cool. So let's go to the charts and take a look at our indexes. All right. And who else just joined? Oh, cool. Lord Tedders, our favorite shadow priest. Okay, cool. Welcome, man. Let me drop the session notes for you guys. All right, cool. Sweet. All right, let's go to the charts and start with our index overview. And let's look at the S&P 500. And again, we'll start with our multi-tiered products of the S&P 500. We'll start with the future side, the supposed smart money. And let's see how's that shaking up. All right. A little extreme today. Fair value 1.4. We're seeing a lot of money in the low delta stuff. This is the low probability stuff that shouldn't hit, but this might be just short-term hedging, if not broader speculation on potential downside movement. But let's take a look at momentum really quickly in our charts. We'll look at the lower left quadrant here with the on-balance volume. So here we're seeing net selling versus net buying. And for the last couple of weeks, yeah, it's still been in the sell-off chunk here. So it's not above the zero line, which is an interesting phenomenon. So there is some selling into weaker hands. Okay, cool. So now that we have that baseline established, let's
Hey,
see.
Warren,
Yeah, what's up, Kurt?
quick question. On your on-balance volume, you have a 0 line and a -5 and a +5.
Mhm.
Is that been modified from the on-balance volume, just the regular one out of Thinkorswim? Because I get I get a different graph when I just plot. We don't have to do it now. I'm just curious if
Yeah, I didn't tweak this ever. I
okay.
inherited this from Jim Norton.
Okay.
So this might be unique to him. And I
Okay.
don't know what he tweaked, but it works for me. So can you snap a screenshot, maybe post in the chat? I'm curious what
Yeah.
your default values are.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. And then yeah, let me make a note. It would be nice to look at the customization here. So yeah, OBV and Kurt. Okay, yeah, cool. Noted. Yeah, thanks, Kurt. All right. And again, for the new folks that popped on, if you guys use Thinkorswim, this is the last week before we all get shoved into the SWOG camp. So please back up all of your historical stuff, like export all of your yearly data and records, calibrations. There's the
Okay.
application settings, your watch list, the charting, any scanners. So yeah, I got to do that myself this week. Backup costs. Okay, cool. Awesome. And let's look at SPX and see how that's shaking up. So this is the big boy option contracts, the almost as smart money as the futures, and but still a lot of this is in Don Kaufman's mind, this is the premier trading instrument. All right. And this is showing a bit of bullishness. In sizzle index numbers are still broken, looks like, but put call ratio at least is 1.1 and fair value is about 1.4 and deltas aren't that extreme in the low stuff. So there's not the same level of urgency here. And it's just a normal, happy, bullish day for the SPX traders. Um, so they're a little different from the ES futures guys. Let's go to SPY and check out retail here. And again, I just find it funny that we use these exact letters to represent the trading instrument. So, it's affectionately known what as the spiders. The retail trader ticker is SPY. It's just funny to me. All right, cool. Let's see. This is again fair value is about 1.4. And yes, this is a little bit more bullish than usual. The low Hail Mary deltas pretty boring. So it's about 49% for SPY. SPX was in the 60s. ES futures was about in the 80s. And we've seen that peak almost to the 90 level on the futures side when market was crashing a couple weeks ago on a Thursday. So yeah, we're seeing definitely a divergence of on the sort of sentiment continuum. There's definitely different opinions on the market here, based on bankroll and experience and overall trading acumen. All right, cool. So let's go to our cousin indexes and look at the NASDAQ. And I wasn't sure, are there any other big products like the SPX that expires daily? Or is it, oh, they're all SPX related, I think?
Yeah, NDX and Nasdaq.
Oh, okay. I haven't
Yeah,
traded.
right.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
Not liquid though.
Not liquid? Okay. SPX is still the best overall.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 0.984, fair value is 1.4. So this would be pretty bullish for today. And we're seeing low action in the Hail Mary stuff. So yeah, that looks fair. And let's go to the charts and take a look at momentum. All right. Let me expand this a little bit. All right, cool. So yeah, so looks like the Nasdaq, even though it's been a relatively strong index, we've actually been below the zero line since gosh, for last several weeks. So this is a 90-day view here. So wow. Not a lot of confidence here. So people are taking money off the table. So that is good to note. Okay, good trend. And from what I recall, the Russell 2000 is the inverse of this. It's relatively like small caps on that side have done relatively well. So let's confirm this week's trends and go to IWM. Okay. Oh, let me see. What did Kurt post? Oh, okay, the SPX. I see. Uh,
Yes, so there's something different there. We can troubleshoot it later on.
yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. I'll leave this on my other screen. Cool. Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, and SPX doesn't have OBV. It switches to ATR on that other screen.
Oh, okay, I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, don't worry. Uh, cool. Oh, so yeah, Russell 2000. Yeah, it's having a nice day. And as you can see here, it has been sort of the opposite of the NASDAQ. It kind of at that similar point, it just kind of broke out and has been stayed above the zero line for the last gosh, 2 months really. So yeah, lots of inflows. Is this wise? I don't know, but at least small caps at the moment have been doing okay, but we are going to the dog days of summer, so this pattern may not hold up. And if anything, this looks like lower lows and lower highs, which is really, boring kindergarten level TA, which is, this might go down. So yeah, the next couple of candles will decide its fate. So we'll see what's going to happen. But yeah, this could be a dead cat bounce and just go straight down. So yeah, it's anyone's guess. And with that, let's go to the diamonds. And it's a good reference point. Not widely traded, but a good reference. And we're seeing, yes, decent inflows as well. And it's peaked recently. So that's interesting. Let's go to the analytics and see what today's betting public thinks about the diamonds. Very bullish. Okay, so typically this is the most bullish index overall. So yeah, it's usually loose at the 1.0 line, and this is today at 0.589. So pretty bullish. Got it. All right, excellent. And let's just check the VIX at the moment and see what that number is. And our 70-pound poodle lapdog is snoring. He's on my lap. Okay. All right, that's cool. Let's see. VIX is 13. Wow, 13.0. That is right on the money. Let's take a look at the chart. We did have that recent peak up to 21 recently. But wow, look, it's formed a perfect isosceles triangle. Can you see that? Like that is not, you couldn't be more perfect. Like, gosh, this is like beautiful technical analysis. So basically it's telling us it's gonna hit, about 12-ish here, and then maybe it'll break out. And then yeah, it's just so funny. And yeah, on the wider time frame, it's a really clean triangle as well. Wow, look at that top. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Beautiful. Nice. And just for kicks, oh, I guess that's it. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right. So that's the market overview. And let's go to our fear and greed index and take a look at how this is comparing against past time periods. So compared to a week ago, about the same fear level. About a month ago, it's 54, and a year ago, it's 59. So let's look at the individual components. This is, again, is the S&P 500 against the 125-day moving average. This has come, they were converging for a little bit. So that was interesting. 52-week highs versus 52-week lows is on the bottom end. So this, I think, is warranted for showing a little bit more fear. And on the McKellen index, this is also comparing overall moving upward stocks versus falling stocks. And that's been sliding towards more momentum on downward motion in general. And we talked about the put to call ratio to def. And again, this is a retarded way of looking at it. Anything south of 1 is not fear. Anything north of 2 is nuclear. So 0.8 is nothing. And again, 2019 and COVID were 2.0 events and higher. And we're very far away from that. So this is a misread. Okay, cool. We don't need to worry about the other volatility stuff they have here. It's we just talked about it. All right, cool. So that's CNN. And let's go to the Trader's Almanac. Some fun stuff here. So this is the May readouts. And in general, we're in the dog days of summer. So we'll look at the whole summer season, as it were, together. And looking at the political calendar, since we have the November election, right? May is the anniversary of the 2021 George Floyd riots. And if you guys remember, the riots were mostly peaceful. That was just one of the greatest memes of 21. And like, I just know a lot of life has happened and we're all kind of overly saturated with like the craziness, but this really did happen. And like I was, yeah, but yeah. Yes, it was mostly peaceful. Okay. So yeah, okay, let's look at the May readout. the May-June disaster area between 65 and 84, with the S&P down 15 out of 20 Mays. Between 85 and 97, May was the best month with 13 straight gains, gaining 3.3% per year on average, up 17, down 9 cents. Worst 6 months of the year begin with May. We can skip this next line. The Dow Memorial Day week record is up 12 years in a row, down 16 of the last 28. Oh, bless you.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
No worries. Since 1950, presidential election years, May's rank number 9 on the Dow, number 9 on the S&P, and number 8 on the NASDAQ. So there is maybe some rationale for the sell in May and go away. Especially if you look at the line I skipped. It's the $10,000 investment thing. But then the almanac has a couple pages that debunks that later in the book. So like, yeah. Okay, let's look at June. Let's see. The June summer rally in most years is the weakest rally of all 4 seasons. Week after June, triple witching day, the Dow is down 26 of the last 32. Recent record, S&P up 12, down 9. Average loss of 0.8. Ranks number 11. Holy cow. Summer doldrums can begin in late June. Watch out for end of quarter portfolio pumping on last day of June. And Dow down 18 of the last 32. NASDAQ up 9 of the last 12. And in presidential election year Junes, the S&P is number 4, Dow number 5, NASDAQ number 2. June ends NASDAQ's best 8 months. So there might be some semiconductor seasonality here that I'm not familiar with. Does this ring a bell with you, Larry? You're our semiconductor expert of the group, I believe. Or Larry might be on the call, I'm not sure. Okay, we'll circle back. No worries. And we haven't talked about July just yet, but I really wanted to make sure we're prepared for a very potentially volatile summer. So let's look down the pipeline and see. July is the best month of third quarter. Start of second half brings an inflow of retirement funds. First trading day, Dow up 28 of the last 34. Graph above shows strength in the first half of July. Huge gain in July usually provides better buying opportunity over the next 4 months. Start of NASDAQ's worst 4 months of the year, and presidential election years have ranked Dow number 6 for the S&P and number 9 for the NASDAQ. Okay, so yeah, could be a nice and depressing summer for the market. Okay, cool. Questions, comments? Cool. Can't do sector rotation on this laptop. We'll do it next week. But yeah, let's take a look at the earnings stuff. Let's see what we have for today. Let's see. Oh, we got Mara, SoundHound. Oh, wow. Unity, Blink. That should not do well. What else? Rick's Cabaret. Oh my God. Our strip club IPO. The real prognosticator of the S&P. You know, Dr. Copper gets his lap dances at Rick's Cabaret. All right, cool. But yeah, speaking of prognosticators, what else is fun? Bloom Energy. These mofos wouldn't hire me because I refused to take the vaccination, and they wouldn't accept my religious exemption. These bastards. But I do like their tech. They do hydrogen fuel cells. Groupon. Like, it's 2024. Coupons is such a dumb idea. I can't believe that company's still alive. I can't believe Yelp is still alive. It's ridiculous. And they make a third of $1 billion. That's just outrageous. Like, as a marketing guy, their pay-per-click rates are like 100 times higher than Google. It is unbelievable how much everyone's getting ripped off. But yeah, it's a dumb, crowded, fragmented market. Grindr is a public app? What the hell? I didn't even know about this. This is the degenerate app. This is Tinder for like the homosexual crowds. I didn't know they were public. That's incredible. Okay. Anything else interesting? Just too many things to look at. Playboy Group. Okay. I don't see any mining companies I recognize. Because if we did, with especially with today's movement, price movement, that would be a easy easy earnings to play. I mean, because all the mining companies are doing really well with the high influx of prices in this last quarter. Okay, I think that's it for today. Let's take a look at tomorrow. What big names do we have for tomorrow? Honda, blah, blah, blah. I don't recognize. Hawaiian Electric. Okay, that's for Alan. What else is fun? Silver Spike Investment. I don't know what this is, but I will take a look. I think that's it. Okay. Looks like not quite as exciting as earlier this week. But yeah. Cool. But yeah, let's take a look at some earnings reports. And again, here are this again. I love this photo. This is from Wall Street Bets. Disney earnings calls. Disney's having a hard time. All right. Let's look at the fun consumer spending stuff. We had lots of good stocks, and yeah, let's take a look. So we got a couple cool lines. We got different perspectives of the consumer. So McDonald's, Starbucks, and even Tyson Foods, they on their earnings calls, they all talked about the weakening consumer spending numbers, especially for the working poor and the middle class. It's just it's just a weak consumer. And let's see. Yeah, the Tyson Foods statement was the consumers under pressure, especially low-income households. Thank you, Captain Obvious. And on the travel industry, we had an Expedia miss and lowered guidance. Trip.com also a miss. I'm not sure what this is. Disney parks moderation or normalization. I mean, they're just having weak ticket sales in general. Uber had a slight earnings miss. And what else? The biggest electronic musical festival is just about to also hit Vegas. It's EDC. I went last year for the first time. I have tickets for this year, but I'm gonna be a good boy and flip the tickets and then throw it back in the portfolio because yeah, I just rather like make money this year and pay for all the EDCs of the future. But yeah, the reason I bring this up is I've been following the forums around EDC, and there's a lot of people selling their tickets. It's not just me, so I think this EDC will be smaller than the previous one. So yeah, and again, this is a relatively there's a lot of lowlifes and there's like a lot of like affluent Asians that go. And those are like the two main demographics. But yeah. Okay. And let's see. We also have TSA checkpoint data that's showing it's still showing high, I guess, throughput if you're just looking at bodies. But then what's unspoken here is how many illegals are in here. It's like, oh, we can't talk about that. But that is a component. I mean, especially with trucking and flying illegals all over the place. Okay. And I didn't know there was a Dow Jones US Travel and Leisure Index here. Let's see if we can find a chart and see if that is insightful. And Ross said, Indian Travel Company is doing well. I am not familiar with what this is. MMYT? Is that a stock ticker? Oh, Make My Trip Limited. I'm not familiar with this. Is this a regional player? I am not sure. Okay. Where am I? Okay, let's try to find an index. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, this is a real deal index. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see. So ebb and flow. Let's see what the holdings are. What's inside this? U.S. Treasure holding. What is inside? Stormy Daniels, definitely not inside her. Okay. Wow, can't find this. I'll dig it up later. That's okay. Okay, I'll leave this tab open. But yeah, so there's that. There's some more relevant articles. So we'll go to the next one. But yeah, we'll look at the Intel one really quick here. Okay, Intel shares. Let me pull up the Intel chart for our purposes. Let's take a look. INTC. So if you remember, we talked about this last week. The Biden chip stimulus act. I forgot the formal name, but the largest receiver of the grant money was for Intel. I guess I mean, Andy Grove's legacy is, it's the oldest semiconductor company, relatively speaking, among the giants. And their lobbyist arm is just more organized and well entrenched. What can we say? But yeah, holy cow, it's been a disastrous last 90 days here. Momentum has definitely gone the other way. But yeah, not a good time. All right, let's go to the article. So yes, they are cutting Q2 revenue estimates over pulled China licenses. So you'll see this theme in a lot of articles today. There's a lot of dependence on China. It's not just Tesla, it's not just Apple, it's everybody. So again, that's why I feel like, again, we've been on the cutting edge because we've looked at a lot of China news in the last, gosh, 5 years, and nothing like COVID to wake you up to this. But yeah, I remember us talking about this in 2019 quite in depth. So yeah, here's that 8.5 million that we mentioned. Sorry, 8.5 billion with Intel under the Chips and Science Act. So yeah, maybe Chips Act 2.0 will be needed. So yeah, maybe we should be shorting Intel. Nothing like a semi-quasi, state-owned entity like this to just gobble up all of the funds. All right. Cool. And with that, let's diverge and shift gears and look at what the kids are trading. All right. So stock market sentiment. This is an analysis tool of the Wall Street Bets posts. And instead of reading through that internet bathroom wall of autistic traders, we're just gonna look at the highlights. All right. So let's see. Anything really red and bearish? Boeing. 12 negative, 6 positive. And SoundHound looks like. All right, cool. But looks like it's NVIDIA, Robinhood just had earnings, Roblox, what's ALCC? Tesla, Donald Trump staying, Apple, ARM, Q, Mara, Amazon, Boeing, AI, Meta, TKO. What is TKO? CPI, CELH, what? Carvana, Peloton. What is lot again? Starbucks, Disney, Airbnb, Palantir, yeah, and SoundHound. Okay. Okay, usual suspects. All right, let's go to our economic articles and take a look at more consumer sentiment stuff. All right, we got some interesting credit card data here. So the current record high is $1.3 trillion. And average APR is what, gosh, 20% or something? Ridiculous. And let's see. Credit card debt is just a small portion of the total 6%. Was it Ed? What did Ed said? 6 inches, 6 months. What radicalized you? Ah, uh, yeah, no more $5 footlongs. What was the other problem with Subway sandwiches recently? I saw like Subway has the highest. What's the Monsanto compound of the Roundup compound? Glyphosate or something?
Glyphosate.
Glyphosate. Yeah, their bread is not really bread. It has a lot of glyphosate from Roundup. Subway, 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 subway. Yeah. Yeah, so just be careful out there, folks. You do not want to eat glyphosate. It's the leftovers of the Roundup pesticide from Monsanto.
Can I make a comment?
Of course, Ross.
So, everyone says oats is healthy, right? Well, first off, oats should not be eaten by humans because it's meant to be.
It's grain. It's a grain.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's that aside. But everyone says, hey, oats is healthier, go eat. The way oats is harvested? They don't just chop down the oats plant, right? What they call is they desiccate it, which means they kill everything around it to harvest. The number one chemical that is used is glyphosate rather. They kill the plant so that it's ready for harvesting. So if you were to test your oats anywhere, anytime, the whole thing is laced with glyphosate. So there you go. Don't touch oats.
Wow, really?
Yes, indeed. That's how they
Wow.
harvest oats.
TLDR, don't eat in America. That's pretty much it. Just don't fucking eat.
What do we eat
Don't
then?
breathe. Don't drink the water.
Don't live in
It's-
Flint, Michigan.
Wani, I think it's the high water mark is time to leave.
Huh? Time to what?
Time to leave.
To leave. Where do we
Yeah.
go? That's a question,
Th-
I
that-
mean,
Yeah.
Back to
That's-
India where it's safe.
Good God.
What?
Yeah, no way. No way.
I'm
no,
kidding.
no.
I mean,
Seriously, where do we
Japan is
go?
pretty serious about their food, but pretty much anywhere is better than here. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not India. I can't comment on that, but
Not at
most
all.
other countries have some care for their citizens and what they're allowed to eat, which shouldn't be poison. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I saw the 5 foot long. It's just like, yeah, inflation's not a problem, and then it goes right into the other issue of inflation, I think, which has to do with why do we have all these fake foods, right? And a lot of that, I think, goes back to having fake money.
Yeah.
Because
main-
if there was real assets involved, then people would demand more for their food, I think, for one, but also these companies would not be incentivized to be basically sticking your food into and processing it in these ways. They're basically just trying to cheat the system hard enough to keep up with the debasement because they know they can't raise the prices.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, this is really sad. I mean, China's having a lot of fake food.
Right. So then what do we do?
Just try to eat
I mean,
local and cook at home, really, just for quality control.
yeah, even if you cook at home, you have to buy the stuff, right? The ingredients from the store. And none of the stuff in the store is,
Yeah. So like
healthy anymore.
I mean,
so-
the real issue is we've lost connection with any community. We have no accountability to each other because we don't give a fuck about any human that isn't within our little 200-person tribe. So you really need to reestablish your tribe, and your tribe needs to include some farmers. And that's part of our whole circular economy we're trying to establish with our little Bitcoin group is go shake your farmer's hand, go buy the cow from them, look them in the eye when you buy the steak, right? And they have to look you in the eye and give them real money. Like maybe for the gold bugs here, find a farmer who will take gold or silver, like a real asset. They're giving you a real fucking cow. You give them some real money. I think there's something very powerful about that. So,
did you talk to your crew about us doing some group buys on half cows and stuff?
I did, and I think we forgot about it.
Okay, no worries.
With the halving and everything else, but yes, the group, a few of the folks were interested. So yes, we should try to do a group buy on.
Okay, All right, very cool. I'll make a note.
Yeah, try to bug me. I've completely gotten distracted with Fiat World.
No worries. We're gonna buy a cow. It's gonna be exciting.
There you go.
Who gonna slaughter the cow?
There's slaughterhouses again. You know, go find the farmer or whatever and shake their hand, and there's options for that. It's not that difficult.
yeah.
The meat tastes so much better as well. I will say that. Like you can taste the difference of having something that isn't like stuffed full of chemicals.
So the cows or the meat like such will be a little bit gamey, but that's the kind of meat you want, right? Which is low in artificial fats that come from eating heavy grains that are fed to the cattle these days. So the meat will be a little gamey, as they call it. But the omega 3s and omega 6s, they're very high in it.
Yeah.
I got
and-
my son to eat it, and he is a picky fucking eater. But once he figured out it was steak, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." But yeah, it's a little different, right? For sure.
Your son's how old?
He's 8 now.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, thanks for this oatmeal. I'm a huge fan of oatmeal, but yeah, I need to find glyphosate free oats. And it seems like this vendor sells some. So that's cool. Awesome. Thank you for the reminder. All right. Oh, the main thing I want to talk about in this article though was they call it the debt balance and composition. So let's look at where all the money is. So a lot of it is in household wealth, like mortgage money here. Um, what's the percentage? Let's see, trillions of dollars, about 12 trillion, right? So in China, it's a lot worse. It's like 85% of all domestic wealth is held in real estate. That's why this ghost city problem in China is so serious. But yeah, so it's mortgages. What's the purple? HE revolving home equity. Yeah, home revolving home equity lines. Okay. Auto loans. That's interesting. And the blue is 6% credit cards. Here's student loans. Okay. And junk stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. America is broke. Wonderful. All right. And here are transition into serious delinquency, 90 plus days non-payment by loan type. So let's see, credit cards have increased. That's percent of balance. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's almost 7% have been delinquent for 90 plus days. Student loans, not so much. HE revolving, not so much. Mortgages, not so much. Auto loans picking up. Okay. Got it. Okay. Good stuff.
And what's conveniently missing from this chart is BNPL.
Buy now, pay later.
Right? Yep.
Yeah. Uh, is a lot of that information public? I guess we have to go to like a firm directly to get those numbers. But I guess there's a little bit, right? Let's see.
They're not very transparent with the kind of loans, the repayment schedules, delinquencies,
Criteria
and
even.
and what's even worse, if you get a BNPL loan, that loan does not get reported to the credit agency. So even if you are on, even if you're on the schedule, paying your loans on time, you're not building credit.
Understood.
This is not good. BNPL is not good for the general public.
Especially at the Walmart, self-checkout kiosk. Like, don't do this. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, buy now, pay later spending sprees. I didn't see this. Let's see the average value. More than a third of respondents in a recent survey said they spent more than $1,000 using these services. Oh my God. Like, just use cash. Like, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Americans won't die if they go on the Venezuelan diet. But yeah.
But then you won't be keeping up with the Jones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, and when the government doesn't take the money seriously, why should they? That's something that I've seen recently, a couple of memes of like these younger folks of just like it's all paper money, it's all funny money, and they know it. And so they're like, well, why should we take it seriously?
No, it's fair. Let me expand this chart. Okay, so here's the dollar strength. Let's zoom out a little bit. 6 months. Okay. Well, let's do 5 years. Okay, so we're not at our peak, but it is relatively strong at 105. And let's jump forward a little bit. Let's look at USD to yen. All right. Oh, it was 159 the other day. Damn. It's not like I'm there, but I feel like we missed out. 159. God, this is just
Wow.
wild.
You missed out for this day or this week, Warren. I mean, they're obviously they've had multiple interventions with the Bank of Japan already, and you know, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. But gosh, it's just on sale, so incredible.
Did you see, by the way, though, that it sounds like our Fed is extending credit swaps to they're not ready yet for them to do full bailouts for us yet again, but I saw something about the Fed extending or they either were extending or they were promising to extend credit swap lines for the Japanese central bank.
I didn't see the
Yeah, let me see if I can find it in my Twitter X feed.
okay. Yeah, let us know. Sweet. Oh, and be careful with seed oils, guys. That stuff is not safe as shit. It says heart healthy on the label, but it's a US label. You can't believe it. All right.
You mean what seed oil, like grape seed,
Canola.
canola,
If it just says vegetable oil, it's a seed oil.
olive oil should be okay, right? Olive oil.
Olive oil is fine, yeah. It depends what you're cooking, right? If you need a higher smoke point, I would use avocado oil. But olive oil is
Avocado.
a good all, it's a good all general purpose one. Or just use butter. Just use real butter.
Yeah, butter is good.
Yeah.
Coconut oil too should
Yeah,
be good.
coconut's great.
Oil is good. Yeah.
It has MCTs.
Right.
It's a different type of fat, but yeah, it's also very clean. But yeah. Cool. Speak of more currencies, shout out to Dave for reminding us yesterday that Bank of England had its rate change announced today, and pretty boring, but yeah, more of the same. To Joseph's point, seed oils. Why are seed oils bad? Stop eating seed oils, Reddit. They're really inflammatory, and a lot of them are, what's the technical term? Hydrolyzed? Or, they're extremely oxidative. You can read this subreddit here. You just I'll sort this for you, and you can read all the articles.
I think
they're inflammatory is the short answer.
yeah, I think actually like using animals fat like lard and things like that for cooking, it's way better than
Yeah.
seed oils, right?
Yeah, just use butter.
Butter,
like
yeah.
restaurants use butter, like the copious amounts of butter in French restaurants is legendary, especially when it's American French food. Oh my God. Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at any like Thomas Keller recipe. It's like, wow. Yeah. Or Marco Pierre White, just a little bit of olive oil. He just drowns it. Yeah, but yeah.
So butter on everything. Stir fry with butter.
Basically, it makes everything better. Fat is flavor. There you go. All right. Since we have Lord Tedder's here, maybe you have some good gossip here. But yeah, I'm really happy to bring this article to you guys. I thought this was really cool. So here's top countries by crypto ownership. So I didn't know the UAE was this
Vietnam?
high. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
More than US. Do you really
Iran?
Yeah, the Persians. It's like, oh no, the Philippines,
Philippines?
Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, the Ukraine, Venezuela. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Um,
surprised China not even on the list.
uh, yeah, that's probably yeah, is
No
this
one admitted in China. No one said yes.
yeah. They filled no on the survey on their 1040.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
3 million, 2 million.
Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, I would, it's hard to say what the source of the data is, but it's fair to say with the regulations that we have been pumping out in the US and regulatory lack of clarity, we're pushing the broader crypto technology offshore and pretty much have been since FTX blew up. The current regulatory environment is no bueno for it. Here's the swap line story. So it was financial juice on May 7th. US, Japan reportedly agree on an FX intervention. So you may not necessarily see the yen blow up immediately because that would be bad for our treasuries. That's the main reason why the Fed would step in and provide this assistance to Japan, is they don't want the Japanese central bank selling any more of our treasuries because that will screw us over.
Mhm.
It's all a big debt Ponzi scheme.
so we're gonna sacrifice them instead of ourselves. Got it. Okay, that's gonna be fun. I mean, well, Japan, Korea, these are all vassal states of America. So it's never like they had a choice to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's all linked together, right?
Yeah.
All the debt systems are linked together. We've pushed everything up. After 2008, it went from the banking level to the sovereign level.
Yeah.
So
We're the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry basket.
the fastest horse in the glue factory.
Oh, I've never heard that before. Oh my God. That's terrible. Oh my God. That's great. I gotta write that down. Fastest horse in
Yeah.
glue factories. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's no surprise, by the way, that we're seeing related to the crypto stuff. We're seeing a number in the last few weeks. I don't know if I came on and talked about it or if you guys talked about it, but there've been a number of announcements from the DOJ basically trying to soft ban essentially any sort of on-chain Bitcoin privacy and even vaguely threatening the ability to hold things in self-custody. And what I can definitely see is they're setting things up for another potential 6102 attack on Bitcoin. They're sort of blocking the gates as much as they can, with the idea that when the debt gets bad enough, they will nationalize the ETFs, they will nationalize MSTR and all of the Bitcoin miners that are US held. That is likely. That is the intelligent attack vector. Like if I was the US government, how would I solve our debt problem? Basically, let's do what we did in 1933. It worked great then, should work again.
What happened in 1933?
And that was Executive Order 6102. I believe it was 33. That was the attack on gold, right? That made, sorry, 6102. Yeah, so that was, that is the playbook, right? So they will see if they can do the playbook again. I think they're going to find it harder, but it's very clear that they're just like, well, if things get bad enough, this is what we'll do. So there's going to be an official approved clear Bitcoin market and an unapproved Bitcoin market. That's at least in their head. This is how this is going to work. I think they're going to have a very difficult time executing that attack, but we're ready for it. I mean, I've been talking to other Bitcoiners about it for the last like 2 or 3 years, that is the attack vector if it gets successful enough. So,
But yeah, execution will be very disappointing.
I mean, I'm not saying they won't have any ability to do it, and what they're trying to do is scare tactics. They had an FBI notice, and they've basically they arrested two open source Bitcoin developers. So the software is free and open source to use, basically for a coin mixing service, which allows for privacy. Under the auspices of that it allows drug dealers and terrorists to do bad things. Never mind the fact that, you know, most, laundering is done but with US dollars, but that's irrelevant. We don't
Yeah.
want you to use an alternative system. Essentially, we don't want you to have an escape valve. So they're doing a lot of those types of attacks now, I think, to preempt the next wave of printing. It's very obvious.
And don't forget, you have to pay gains on your illegal acquisitions.
Yeah, I mean, when you sell them, you would have to pay the gains, but that's kind of beside the point.
Yeah.
It's really the bigger attack vector is just that you don't get to have anything that you hold. And the way that they're doing it is they're attacking open source software, which is just, you know, that's freedom of speech. So, you know, never mind your First Amendment rights. You know, we're basically going to say that these coders who write free code that anybody can use, that's openly distributed, that's illegal. Basically, I mean, the joke that some of the Bitcoiners had is you thought of 12 words in your head, go to jail, immediately to jail, right? You did math. There's actually someone who hilariously, I think in the last week, if I can find it, they created, essentially it's a wooden jigsaw puzzle that allows you to generate the seed words for a Bitcoin self-custody wallet. That would be illegal. You know, we're going to go back to prohibition days. Do not mix this brick of grapes with you know, some raisins and yeast, right? Anyway,
The medicinal wine supplies at church. Yes.
yes, exactly.
Official consumption purposes only. Yeah. And there used to be like 1,000, like so many drinking clubs that spawned out of fraternities. The Masons, the Elks, like everyone was just brewing their own stuff.
Yeah, I don't think, and I would say similarly, this is about as easy to distribute. It might even be even easier than making your own hooch. I think they're going to have a very difficult time suppressing it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. They're going to try because they don't really have any choice.
Yeah. Good stuff. And speaking of people playing with shitcoins, here's revolving credit figures on US credit. So looks like we had a net loss in consumer credit transactions overall, or at least volume. Yeah. So the consumer really might be tapped out. And let's go to revolving credit overall. So technically, Michael Maloney's made the case, like revolving credit should be included with the M2 money supply because it technically doesn't exist until the credit card is swiped or you process a transaction. But then the money springs into existence. So M2 is not independent of revolving credit. It is part and parcel together. So, but yeah, looks like we've had no change. So for the last month. So that is showing quite a change in consumer spending habits, or it's a significant contraction, if anything. And what did Ross post?
You made a mention about shitcoins. They actually exist.
Shitcoins! Oh my God!
So this professor actually converted human feces into gas and was able to mine current crypto.
You earn ghoul, a literal shitcoin. Dude, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
That's so good. Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrencies.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Don't try it at home.
Oh.
What's the token's name?
IBS.
IBS.
No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Oh my God. This is so
Wow.
cool. This is so cool. This is literally an episode of Britos Empire, if you guys like BBC stuff. What's his name? They make this. It's a poop energy thing. Oh my, there's an episode about this. Colin, yes, yes. Colin develops this. He invents. There we go. Yes. He turns a waste disposal unit, blah blah blah, to anyway. But yeah, there's an episode about this in Britos Empire if you like that. Oh, what's the public service announcement? FBI warns Americans against using credit card transactions that are not registered with money service businesses according to United States federal law.
Yeah, so this is so loose. And what's interesting is we now have essentially these internal agencies overturning established law and guidance directions from legislators. So that's what's kind of like, not only is this vague and very Orwellian, but really scary when you consider essentially these, you know, three-letter agencies of soup. They, you know, they're basically making up their own laws in real time, overturning guidance that has been well established since 2013 and doing all these other things. So it's interesting times, to say the least.
But who watches the Watchers?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a great question.
Exactly.
Shitcoin. This is so cool. Thanks, Ross. I'm gonna save this.
That is kind of awesome, I have to say.
Yeah. And this is exactly what the guy who looks like who invented this, what you expect. He's pleased but a little disgusted. Can
That's hilarious.
you imagine his wife? Like, yeah, my husband is so famous. What did he do? Oh, go to the bathroom. Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. He's so he's the founding shit executive. Like, I just stop.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk Airbnb. Speaking of dog shit. All right. So yes, revenge travel has peaked. I was let's see, yeah. So yeah, Airbnb, let's see, gross bookings, they didn't meet earnings, but I think they're easy, Paula, easy. Okay. Yeah, so they beat their targets, but I think their guidance was a little bit weak. So let's see. Nights booked sees revenue. Okay, despite revenue beat in the quarter, nights and experience booked, a key metric in industry, their nights and experiences only posted 9.5% instead of 12%. It also represents the slowest growth since 2020, suggesting that overall demand has normalized after initial post-pandemic travel boom. Okay. Let's see. Anything else interesting? Let me go to the toss. Let's see if there were analyst downgrades or upgrades really quick on Airbnb. Has anyone used Airbnb recently?
No,
No? Okay.
never,
Never? Oh, okay. You
never
wouldn't know
use it.
the cleaning fees.
I've used it, and
Yeah.
we've got one booked for this summer.
Oh, cool.
It's not quite the deal that it used to be. I'll
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
much.
Yeah. Okay, so looks like there's been a couple downgrades. TW Cowen, lower price targets. Yeah, seems like, and then lots of I guess reductions in the hold status. So they're all downgrading. Okay. So everyone's responding accordingly. Okay. So yeah, we might see some trouble for Airbnb. Let's go to the charts and take a look. Okay. So yeah, post earnings, we're seeing a big sell-off here, and momentum has been choppy at best, and it's barely staying or treading water above the zero line anyway. So yeah, would a continued short position be justified? Maybe. And this is one of the reasons why, like, I kind of talked about in Discord, like I was a little bit unsure on the downside risk, so I only sold the call spreads instead of doing iron condor for earnings, and it seems like that was really well justified. So yeah, cool. All right. And then we don't have to read these articles, but this is just back-to-back Boeing articles. So crashes in Africa, crash lands in Turkey. It's just a nightmare. Let's go to the charts. And again, remember, Kayak lets you filter by airplane type. So please support Airbus and their safer production standards, or safer. All right. All right, so here's Boeing stock, and it's been in sell-off city since forever for the last 90 days. Just look at that. Just bleeding out. I need to like go harder on BA. Holy cow. And again, it's trading below its 200 and 500-day moving average in a big way. So, and if we go to the betting public today, let's see what people are thinking about. Pretty bearish, 0.86. Yeah. But people are buying the dip too. Interesting. Okay. And what did Ed post? Let's see. Good article and Samurai Wallet founders. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, in case you guys didn't, this is old news from last week, but basically
Oh,
this was them arrest and sort of some information regarding it. There's some links and stuff you can take a look.
Oh, cool. Thank you, sir. And what Bitcoin's 62,000 right now. Okay. God. Excellent. Okay, so that's Boeing. Let's talk the Manheim Index, the used car index. All right, cool. So bad loans hit record high as used car prices suffer worst bear market ever. So here's the Manheim Index out of, I believe, is it the US? Is this the it's the University of Chicago, I think. But yeah, let's see. We had that peak in, let's see, 2022, 2023, and that was when they were overpaying for any, used piece of crap. And I should have sold off my beater then, but bummer. But yeah, now if you want to buy a car, like it should get a lot cheaper soon. So it's coming. And the repo market, like separate from currencies, but repossession market has been blowing up. So it's coming too. And then here is the delta literally right here. So it is coming. Cool. And let's see.
I know it's sort of related, but like I was looking at camper stuff the other day, and that market has just done a full 180. I was actually going in there and looking at some different trailer articles and stuff, and there were several discussions about new bankruptcies and things like that in that sector. Not surprising, considering it's a very discretionary sector. And I think it was like, especially post COVID, and then with all of the money printer, it just became completely saturated. Everyone was buying a trailer, it seemed like.
Yeah, if you follow Jeremiah Babe, he talks a lot about RV markets. He went to one just to he lives next to one, and he frequently walks by and looks at the inventory in the lot. It's kind of cool if you. But yeah, I mean, RV loans, like no one really buys it cash, so a lot of those loans are linked to the 10-year. So it just makes, cost of capital extremely expensive. Even though there's a lot of movement towards van life and whatnot, but the barrier to entry to nice RVs, like it's in the low six figures. Like these are like moving houses. They're not cheap to buy or to operate.
Well, it was, but I will say that that market is quickly imploding, and there's been a lot of pushback on the whole van life thing as well. And part of that is, I think, because we're seeing a rise in homelessness, living in vans. There was something going
Yeah.
on in San Diego recently where they've kind of soft banned overnight parking in a bunch of areas. So anyway, it's interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I remember seeing like was it Scottsdale or Phoenix? Like they set up a like a homeless car zone or something. I think we talked about it in passing. Let's see if we can find it quickly. But yeah, there's something like this that's happening. Okay. Getting back to the car, so let's see. Most affected markets have been EV and compact cars. And Hertz is unloading on like more of their electric fleet, if you guys saw that. And let's just for kicks look at their car sales for the Model 3. We haven't tracked this in a little bit, but we still have our leftovers and screenshots. All right, let me make sure I've set this up correctly. We want nationwide price low to high. Okay, cool. So looks like the cheapest prices aren't in the 18 and 19,000 ranges, but 21 and 22,000. Looks like the soft ceiling is 100,000 miles still. They're all selling the 70 to 80,000 mile units here. And these are hard city miles. Like to put on that many miles in less than 2 years, that's a lot. That's basically it's either charging or it's running. It's charging or it's running. And the cell health of these batteries might be questionable. Okay. Wonderful. All right. So that's car stuff. And I'll try to dig up let me see if like by next week, let me try to dig up the auto delinquent rates, delinquency rates for the like subprime auto. I remember from initial research that if that number hits 12%, the sector implodes. Okay. But yeah, let's see. Average new car loan is at a record high of $40,000. Yeah. Who wants $1,000 car payment? Like clearly they're not selling volatility. Like they're not our crowd. All right. Cool. Shifting to real estate, if getting to more optimistic news, let's go to New York City and look at office towers. All right. So let's see. The total commercial real estate market in New York City is about 20 trillion. That's impressive. And let's see. There's this massive building here. Let's see, 399 million Broadway loan, securitized, blah, blah, blah. Failure to pay this loan's balloon payment last month. The loan is now considered non-performing matured. That's an interesting way to say they're broke. And let's see, office loan delinquencies increased by 70 basis points in April and continue to underperform all other property types. So let's see. Delinquency, the highest in early January was hotels. Wow. Okay, this makes sense. January is not a big travel month, or at least not the middle of January. Okay, that makes sense. What's the second one? Retail. Okay. Where's offices? Offices is the solid black. Okay. It's rising very quickly. Okay. There's industrial, which is better performing because they make money. Okay. Okay. Got it. So industry's good, consumer stuff bad. Understood. All right, cool. And let's see. Here is card swipe data, and they've seen it plateau and only peak up to this level, and shows under 50%, an ominous sign that office workers aren't returning in droves. Okay, cool. Yeah. And we'll see how they re-roll their mortgages to higher rates. And that debacle is still coming. And that's the $1 trillion maturity wall. Excellent. Okay, cool. So that's optimistic. Pivoting to tech news for more optimism, let's go to semiconductors and look at ARM CPUs. All right. Is Larry back? I'm not sure if you're still on your phone call, Larry. Okay. All right. So it looks like initially ARM was doing okay with top line and bottom line beating expectations, but guidance and forecasting was a bit scary. So the market freaked out. But yeah, let's go to the charts. Okay. All right. So we're a little bit down for today. And what the ES is up 0.4%. Okay. So yeah, let's see. For momentum and inflows, it's been positive. Money is moving into the sector, but the performance hasn't been there on price action. So I guess there is a changing of hands and ownership. Let's go to today's betting public and see what the sentiment is. Wow. It is almost parity between calls and puts. So that's pretty bearish already. And it's earnest money overall. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, not having a great time. But CEO Renee Haas said ARMS remains very confident in long-term growth. Okay. All right, thanks, ARM. All right, let's go to the next article. Sam Altman. Yeah, this is not the pivot I expected. Wow. From OpenAI to nuclear reactors. Kind of surprising. So yes, looks like his nuclear company will be called Oklo. Wow. And they're gonna file this Friday via a SPAC. Yeah, it's a speed run to the markets. Holy cow. Oh, this is ALCC. Oh, okay. No wonder. Okay, it's on Swaggy stocks. Okay, that's right. Okay. Let's see how the charts look then. All right. It has weeklies. Very bullish. Up 13% for today. Should we be jumping in on this? Ooh. Pump and dump central, huh? So it relists tomorrow as the new product. Okay, so there are lots of inflows, but should we just go long calls until next week? What is this? Fed's cook, the treasury market liquidity levels are somewhat low recently. I suspect we will not see a slower reduction of the Fed's balance sheet, but we will also restart QE at the first signs of stress. This will not be a good signal for dollar bulls. So this means gold prices will go down. Okay, I'm sure. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, so here's Altman's thing. What's the mission statement? Oh God, this sounds dangerous. He wants to provide clean, reliable, affordable energy on a global scale. Okay, I can understand doublespeak. And let's see, similar to this, Amazon recently struck a deal to buy a data center in Pennsylvania powered by a 2.5 gigawatt nuclear plant. Yes. And North Virginia, we talked about this last week. A lot of was it? A lot of data centers are in North Virginia, and who just moved to Nashville? Oracle. Oracle moved its headquarters again to Nashville from Texas. And the rationale was they said they want to be closer to their large medical customers. So then I thought about it, looked it up. It's just the VA and Medicare. And if you thought the VA and Medicare was clumsy and primitive now, wait till Larry Ellison's running the back end, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe we should be looking at Sam Altman's stock. Is it free money? Kind of, not really. But yeah, ALCC guys, is the ticker. So yeah, it will relist tomorrow to Oklo. To Joseph's point, yeah. He's incubating a bunch of stuff, I guess. Okay, cool. So that's trading. But yeah, let's pivot to Apple and my namesake, Warren Buffett. All right. Let's see. So Warren Buffett did sell off a little bit on Apple, but he recently also stated by year end he expects a larger position. And Warren doesn't typically like he holds so long term, doesn't usually do like sell in May and buy it back in October. But it seems like he's doing that with Apple. So um yeah, and it is a substantial holding for his stuff. And also he's famous for hating tech, like to this article's point. So could be interesting. But yeah. So that's what Warren Buffett's cooking up. And pivoting to Apple itself, here's Apple's iPhone shipments in China jumps 12% after discounts. And again, Apple doesn't like to offer discounts. So this is kind of a, this is a act of desperation. I mean, carrying, new inventory that's depreciating every single day is expensive. So yeah, so enjoy the benefits in advance and wake up early. From January 18th to 21st, use eligible methods, blah, 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 to save up to 800 RMB. Okay. And let's see. As a result of this, Piper Sandler and Barclays downgraded Apple due to slumping iPhone demand. And it seems like overall, Apple has 35 buys, 18 holds, and 4 sells. So, and if you can read through analyst speak, a hold is basically a sell. Yeah. And let's see, how important is China for Apple? Apple's net sales in Greater China since fiscal 2010. So yeah, it's let's see, percentage of global sales. It's 20% of global sales, and net sales is 30 to 40%. Yeah, yep. Okay. And let's just pull up the charts for Apple. They've been a relatively weak hand in the Mag 7 lineup. I'd say the second weakest hand in general. And yeah, on the momentum side, it's still a horror story. There's no inflows. They're very far away from the zero line. I mean, it's improved a little bit, but not by much. And it's only because of I guess earnings weren't as bad as they thought it was. So yeah. But yeah, it did gap up. But can it hold above its 200-day moving average? That's a different question. But yeah, it's odd that it gapped up and inflows are still below the zero line, which tells me that you can't outfight gravity. And maybe I should be looking at more Apple shorts. Okay. All right. All right, we're almost at 12 o'clock. Holy cow. Let's speed up a little bit. We're almost to our China section. All right. We don't have to dive too deep into this, but yeah, we had a nice jobs report come out, highest jobless claims in 9 months. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, looks like it'll be a bad summer. All right, let's go to the UK and see what this guy said. He's a real estate inspector, and he expects 1 to 2 bank failures a week. And the UK economist calls it entering a new dark age. And the Bank of England, again, held rates steady for them. So that's not exactly a vote of confidence from their central bank either. So they are in trouble, among many problems there. But yeah, I'm not familiar with this real estate mogul. Have you guys heard of him? Barry Sternlicht? Not familiar with him. Let's see. British banks are on the brink of collapse. Banks in America are collapsing at a rate of 1 a month. We are entering a new dark age. I think it's warranted. Let's see. Where is he posting from on Twitter? I'm not the wait, former parliamentary candidate with the Brexit party. I don't know this guy, but I am pro Brexit, so yeah. Let me drop this in the chat if you guys want to follow him. Seems like an interesting guy. Let's see if his other posts are sane as well. Relatively at first glance, seems like he's a relatively speaking pro-freedom kind of guy. Okay. Okay, cool. This was really fun. Putin doesn't bluff. The comments again for Zero Hedge articles are where it's at. But gosh, what does it say about Putin? He's ultimately been really patient with the West backstabbing him left and right, especially since the violation of the Minsk agreements and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, if it was me leading Russia, like the world would be, a giant dust cloud already. I don't think I'd be this calm about it. But Putin is more patient than expected. Thank God for that. And he should do us all a favor and just bomb DC. The whole world will thank him. Okay. All right. Yeah, we talked about Japan already, but yeah, here is I mean there's a lot of intervention in big Japan right now, so we looked at the charts already. We don't have to look at the banking stuff, but yeah, we'll skip that. Okay, cool. Let's see. Ukraine passes bill to recruit prisoners from depleted army ranks. So this is a sign of bullishness, I guess. Let's see. Prisoners must volunteer. Only those with 3 or 4 years left on the sentence may apply. Those convicted of violent sexual crimes are not eligible. Former high-ranking officials and those guilty of serious corruption are not eligible. Prisoners who kill 2 or more people are not eligible. So if you're a serial murderer, you're too much of a murderer. They just want like the low-grade murderers. Only 1 kill count. Okay. If you kill more than 2, you might be too good and you might run away. But people are saying, I don't want to fight. I don't trust our government. They don't care about people. Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, that's funny. Okay. Here's the fun stuff with the H-1B stuff that I researched for you guys. All right, cool. So let's start with this. These are the countries with the most students studying abroad. And the winner of that is China. So, and then about 1 million folks. These are slightly old stats from 2021. I imagine it's decreased quite a bit. And India is number 2 at 508K, and then Vietnam, which I didn't expect, Germany, Uzbekistan, France, United States, Syria. Wow, it seems like Vietnam is really punching above its weight class. High crypto adoption rates, high studying abroad. I mean, for a backwards ass, communistic dictatorship, it's made some good moves, relatively speaking. I mean, still corrupt as hell, but yeah. Okay, so there's that figure that we know about. Let's pivot to remittances. And again, if the commander-in-chief wanted to end illegal immigration overnight, it's a very simple process. You tax remittances. The whole thing shuts down overnight. Home Depot's, finally become safe again to park, and you're not going to get swarmed by all of the workers at Home Depot parking lots. But yeah, let's look at the figures. So a lot of the money goes to India, to Mexico, to China, to the Philippines, France, Pakistan. What is this? EG? This is Bangladesh. What is EG? Wait, is this Eritrea or whatever the hell it was that we looked at the other day? That flag looks familiar. Is it the same flag? It's not. Okay. Does anyone recognize this flag? EG? Who is this?
It's hard to see.
EG. Who is that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know who this is. But yeah, okay, so that's remittances. And then
I think that's the Egyptian flag.
Egyptian?
Yeah. Flag of Egypt.
It is. Okay. Yeah, it's Egypt. Okay, cool. Good to know. All right, and here's the H-1B data, which is kind of interesting. All right, so here's California foreign labor visa stats all years. They even have average wages. So there's some 85,000 of them. I imagine over half live in the Bay Area. Average wage is 171K. Holy cow, that's impressive. And here is it by ethnicity. So India, 42,000 jobs at $178,000. China, 15,000, only at 108K. South Korea, 154. Canada, Taiwan, 272. Holy cow. How is that possible? Philippines? Like, I don't understand. This I call bullshit. Philippines is only famous for exporting nurses. How the hell are they getting average wages of 500,000? Something's off on that line, but yeah. And what else was the interesting one here? So it seems like the drop off between students who study in the US and students who work, it seems like half the Chinese go back, and the Indians don't quite do that as much. And it seems like the Chinese don't send money home because number one, they don't need it. So the money stays here, and then houses get bought, they get married, they hire a wedding DJ named Warren, and you know, they're off to the races into the middle class, lifestyle. Um, and yeah, so here's some 2019 figures on H-1Bs. And let's see, it's again, India is 3x China. And then number 3 would be Canada. And then Korea, Philippines, Taiwan, Mexico, Brazil, Pakistan, France, Nepal. And then Iran, Germany. Yeah, wow. Okay. But yeah, and the shortcut around this list is just to go to Tijuana and walk up to San Diego. All right, cool. We don't get too deep into this, but yeah, Jeff Bezos, if you're into conspiracy theory stuff, like this is old news to you, but yeah, DARPA is not a good org or a good thing in general. So yeah, fun article on the etymology of the Bezos family. So yeah, interesting. And then oh, the Shogun reference. Yeah, I was thinking about this. I was reading on Reddit, like just different points of view on the Shogun series. And a bunch of folks remarked on an interesting thread that it seems like what's the formal term? The daimos? The lords? The daimyo? I forgot the daimyo? How do you say this?
Daimyo.
Daimyo. Okay, the
Daimyo.
daimyo. Yeah, so the lords of Japan, they were backstabbing each other, switching up alliances and everything nonstop. But in their own camps, loyalty and stability was prized beyond belief, and it was a meritocracy on that side. But at the lordship level, among the aristocrats, just backstabbing galore. So I thought that was an interesting thing, and we see that played out in many other facets of life besides just medieval feudal Japan. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting kind of overlap. And the humble tech geek in his garage, that whole myth is not real for the most part. It seems like it was never the case. Like what's the famous ones? Steve Jobs, Bezos, Bill Gates, yeah, all of them. Yeah. So it seems like they always had family help. And with the future shogun of Lord Toranaga, he's what? He's a Minowara descendant, which were the old original shoguns of Japan from a couple centuries ago. So it's in the family tree already. And uh, miraculously, he shrewdly played the political politics to become shogun too. So that level of political intrigue in Japan, no less, I'm sure was a dice roll for everybody. But yeah, so yeah, just an interesting kind of reference. Okay, cool. Let's jump to oil and commodities news. Biden again is ready to use the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for his own political gain. I think that's really shameful, but 10% to the big guy. All right. Copper is having problems. And oh, take care, Ed. And someone posted copper charts earlier. Oh yeah, Ross did. That's right. Let me grab that link. Thanks again for posting. Here's the commitment of traders report. So yes, copper. So copper is affectionately known in the commodities community as Dr. Copper, since it is the prognosticator for the greater markets. There's some lag time famously included, but the 6 to 12 month prognostication ability of Dr. Copper has been known. So with this increase in commodity prices, yeah, it's part of the general super cycle of commodities, but yeah, it's coming up in a big way. How do we play this? It's a little harder. There's not a lot of primary copper mining due to the low price of copper. I mean, it's $4 a pound. It's not, or 460, I mean. So it's a little bit different. But there's no true direct exposure short of the futures markets, I believe.
Can
But
you scroll on? Can you scroll up a little bit and
Mhm.
give me years or
years.
the dates? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the 20-year one. Yeah. Going back to 04, 05.
Okay, I got the screen cap.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Yep. Oh, but yeah, would you have you traded copper at all? Has anyone traded copper?
I've traded copper.
Copper?
Yeah, so you can do that through tickers like SCCO
FC,
and
SCCO.
FCX.
FCX,
Oh,
yeah.
FCX, yeah. FCX.
But the chart that you just brought up, Warren,
Mm.
that's what they call as the commitment of traders. Sorry, I couldn't get off mute. I was in an office call. What that chart essentially states is, the green line in the bottom part.
Oh,
They
it's the
are
longs, the shorts, and the speculator. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right. So the red line is the manufacturers. The green lines are the speculators, the traders, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the traders are long, but the manufacturers are short. That's essentially what it means, this commitment of traders chart. These are all futures charts.
Yeah. And they're supposed to stay at parity, right? So the books are even.
So, well, if you add up the 58,000, the big boys, the 8,000 us little guys, and the manufacturers, the minus 30, it's 666, it evens out, becomes zero.
Mm-hmm.
Add all the numbers.
So if we were to can we trade just on the commitment of traders reports? From
Not
It's a week late, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's usually late, but then you can see the bounce, right? I mean, it's moved up quite a lot. There's a lot of speculation in, the copper trade. So this is already it's already moved a bit. I think the next move, if anything, is going to be down.
Got it.
Well, it depends on, I mean, the copper starts ramping up about 3 months before industry has, manufacturing demands. They need the copper sitting in a warehouse someplace.
Right. There's from what I've read before.
And, and if they
But
think
then-
that they need to ramp up, they'll get contracts out 6 and 2 years, and if they have predictable demands, kind of like an airport, the airlines put in demand when prices are ideal. They'll put in demand, years in advance, because
Yeah,
it's in that
But
price.
if you look at the chart, right, the manufacturers, from December to March already did their bit, right? they've completed whatever they needed to do. You can see the reading there. It's only after that is when the speculators got in mid-March.
Yeah, like right here. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the manufacturers were bullish, from early in the year for essentially the first quarter. So they're done their bit. Manufacturing, warehousing, storage, whatever. So to essentially fulfill the demands of the market. They're way negative now because there aren't any orders.
I see it. Right. Okay, I see. Right,
You see
right.
that?
So
the
so they're
the,
going
the
back. So yeah.
yeah, the manufacturers are essentially stating by their position that they don't need to manufacture more copper.
Understood. So they
Right?
fulfilled their last quarter's orders.
Yeah.
And now they're
So,
just yeah.
mhm. So their order books are not looking full, if you will.
Well,
These are idling.
so
The
so
capacity is idle
the
on their
red
side.
line is predicting how much volume they're going to produce that needed to be hedged.
And it's negative.
So yeah, so they have a lot of units that they have already sold or
Manufactured,
yeah, the
waiting
plant
to be
they have an
manufactured, waiting to
overabundance
be,
of stuff
yeah,
to manufactured. Yeah,
right. So it's manufactured, waiting to be utilized, waiting to be sold.
right,
So that's
right,
why they're negative on it.
right.
Right. So they have to wait another 2 quarters maybe for orders to pick up again.
Yeah, till all of that manufactured commodity has been utilized in wires and EVs and
Right.
whatnot, right? So that's why, because if you look at the green part, it's run a lot. And to your point about that other article, it's contracting because we are already at the higher, nosebleed territory. So if you move up, can you scroll up a bit? You'll see the upper line, right? We're
Right.
already touching the upper lines. Maybe it may go to 48-ish,
Yeah.
and then we're looking downward. So this trade is done.
Yeah, fair. Very fair. Okay. Very cool.
Again, you can't necessarily, these are long-term trades, right? These are futures.
Yeah.
So they basically tell you what the real commitment is and not just the superficial hoo-ha, big noise that's going on in Wall Street.
Yeah. I mean, I'm familiar with the COT from, the gold and silver community, but looking at it for trading insight, like I've always scratched my head and like,
It's slow.
yeah,
It gives you where it's headed, but not really the time frame. But in copper, the run has been really strong. And that's why in copper, you can actually see that the run is done.
and I mean, looking at this sort of pattern, right? This completed cycle, it's not so much in the gold market, but in the silver market, it seems to be replicating the same issue. Like for me, I figured like the silver market and gold market, like it's overheated. People need to take profits and let a new plateau form right now. So I think it's a similar phenomenon with copper.
Yeah. And you look at the manufacturers in this is the copper chart. Yeah, this is a copper chart, SI.
This is
So
silver. This is silver.
silver, sorry,
Yeah, this
silver.
is silver. Yeah.
So it's minus 75. They haven't seen minus 75
In a long time.
in a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. Same thing with copper, right? So we're reaching 20-year lows in the
Right,
cycle.
right.
Yeah.
So they're all about a turn. Essentially, they're all about a turn. So
Yeah.
if copper is a leading indicator for markets to
Fair. Very
go
fair.
on a
Yeah.
bullish
Yeah.
run, sorry, not happening.
Yeah. No, I think this is a amazing leading indicator for the overall commodity super boom.
Yeah.
I think the long-term trend is very bullish, but there will be short-term corrections like we're seeing right now. So I think this is a very good like thank you for bringing this up. This is very beautiful. Excellent. Yeah, let me drop this in the chat on the notes so we can reference it. Perfect. Thank you very much. This is super cool. And this is like this is complicated, so I hope you guys can rewatch this a little bit and study the charts yourself and get a sense of what's happening.
We can have a longer discussion.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys missed some of the nuances.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
claiming
why
to be
is
an
the
expert. I'm
manufacturer
just reading
negative?
the.
And there's
Uh,
stuff behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just make a
Yeah.
note. I'll table this. So Dave, maybe we could do like a future mini session and kind of do a
Yeah.
deeper dive on the
Yeah.
COT stuff.
Yeah, because
yeah.
they can warehouse copper. They definitely can warehouse silver, and then they would want to be locking in sale prices by selling contracts at convenient places, and those would be open contracts. And the
Yeah.
counterparty for those open contracts would be the other guys above the line.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Pivoting to more my side of the house, looking at premiums for gold and silver. Gold's pretty stayed stable. It's we've been dancing under 4% for a while. So this is a normal moment for gold, but we're still like 80, 90 bucks off the sort of relative recent high. So 2,400-ish was the kind of top of the market. But silver's kind of catching up a little bit, and silver premiums are still relatively high at 13%, 13.5. We've seen it as high as 14, 15, 16. But fair value is like pre-COVID, again, 2, 3%. This is insane. So yeah. Platinum, I haven't looked at in a while, but I wish I had some extra money to go long on platinum palladium. It seems like also it's going to have a nice cycle. Cool. And with that, there was some dumb luck. Again, this is something I would totally do. I'm rich. I got nothing else to do. I'm gonna pretend to be James Cameron and go diving in the ocean, looking for loot. So what happened was there was let's see, there was a ship that was lost to a Japanese submarine in World War II with $40 million worth of silver bars that were bound for South Africa. And this random rich guy built a crew to find it, and he found it. But then the South African government said, hey, that was always on its way to our shores. So therefore we claim this. And this guy is screaming bloody murder, but he's been kind of screwed over on that side. But that's not the point of this story. The point of this story is to look at the chart. All right. And especially the Rosses here. I think Ross, we can dub you the cup and handle / IBD expert of our trader group here. But yeah, look at this. This is the Bloomberg Precious Metals Subindex. And isn't that a beautiful cup and handle that's forming?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Okay.
So couple handle, well, first off, I'm not an expert, right? It's all my observations from, various meetups. And the one thing that stuck out was, and it's pertaining to all bullish patterns, not just this one, right? Like for example, head and shoulders, like inverse head and shoulders. They need to have, like in this case, right? There is no prior run, like the 75 to 79, right? You need to have had the chart on that side should have been on the other side. It needs to have had a run from 50 going all the way to the 300 line, dip, make that cup, and then you get that upward movement. So so that's what I mean. You need to have the understanding of when bullish patterns actually work out. They are continuation patterns. So bullish run up, create the cup, create the handle, and then you move up again. In this case, it's opposite. You have had a huge run going up to 600. It crashed, created that cup, and now it's just meandering, making a small mini cup. It didn't even go below the previous low in 2002, 2004. So it did not reset that base.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay. So that would establish firm support at that level.
Right. Had it
Got
had it
it.
crashed below that 2000, 2004 level, then the base count would have reset.
Right.
Right now, it's in second base, if you want to call it that. It's a cup on cup base, cup on cup base. Usually, though, they don't pan out.
Okay. Excellent. No, it's really helpful.
I could be wrong. I mean, that's what I'm seeing from many of these groups as they discuss, and my understanding and learning of that space is that when cups form, they have to essentially reset the previous base and should have an upward moving. Like for example, the cup, the big cup from 1990 to 2004, and then you had a smaller cup, right? Maybe it could move a little, but it needs to have, see, yeah, so look at the first chart, right? It needs to have that upward movement on the left side, extreme left side of the chart. Has to move up, form the cup, form the handle, and then this would be a model book or an ideal cup and handle pattern. Cup and handles are usually bullish. It needs to have a bullish pattern prior to it forming. Like in the case of, in this chart here that you're showing, in the February to March timeframe, there was a bullish run up on the extreme left side of the chart. Crashes, makes a cup, and then the retracement of that needs to be within 35% max, the bottom of the cup, that is.
From
And
the top,
then,
from the prior top?
yeah,
Got
correct.
it.
From
Got
the
it.
top
Got it.
all the way to the center of the cup, it needs to be, the travel should be about 30 to 35% max.
35% max retracement. Okay, got it.
Volume typically should be drying up on the left side of the cup, and volume should be rising on the right side of the cup from the center. That's when you have the ideal cup and handle.
Let me find out something with the volume. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is better.
Yeah, so you look at that chart, right? So volume is declining on the left side of the cup
Okay.
and rising on the right side of the cup
Beautiful.
from the center. Yeah.
Okay.
So you see and then yeah, on the extreme left side, you have that prior move up. Without that prior move up, cup and handle will fail.
Beautiful. And if you're new to this, when we reread Bill O'Neill's book for this month, we'll redo all of this or review all of this.
You may need a whole month of reading that book, and
Yeah,
and and you might want, that book is a very heavy read.
it is. It is. But a lot of folks here haven't or have no familiarity with CanSlim in general. So at least a brief overview would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. And I hope you guys rewatch this on a recording. This was advanced level cup and handle recognition. So cool. So yeah, circle back on that.
And the only software that has this pattern recognition is the IBD's proprietary software. It was renamed called Market Surge.
Yeah,
Market Smith is the original software.
Yeah.
I've seen many people trying to recreate that on TradingView and Thinkorswim. It's very hard. People have tried for a while, and they really have not been able to achieve it.
It was market research or market search?
Market Surge, SURG.
Surge. Oh, pardon. Oops, Surge.
It's, I think, around $2,000 a year.
Yeah.
Well, they're having us, 4 weeks for $30 if you want to whet your appetite.
Yeah.
Or two months for $60.
Or join an IBD meeting for $10 and find out what the cup and handle is for the month.
Well, you don't even have to spend $10. Join all of the meetups on IBD meetups on meetup.com, and there are a bunch of them.
Yeah. Cool. Let's jump to our final sector. And then we'll close the meeting and then shift gears for today's earnings. All right, cool. Let's see. So Chinese news again. We have a lot of stuff to cover. We'll do it quickly. So China again is dumping EVs. They're all chilling in ports. They're all over Belgium, the Netherlands. It's crazy, and they're mostly BYD cars, and they're not sold yet. So distributors haven't picked them up. No one can take inventory, and they're just chilling in the ports. So. At least they're not on the US side, but yeah, nobody wants these highly defective cars. So and then in general, Xi Jinping, who actually just went to France, um, he's having a lot of different problems. And again, his approach for saving the Chinese economy is top down. It's again very, I guess, it's like, dictatorial communistic policies with Chinese characteristics. So the contrast is, I mean, not that I agree with American QE, but at least with American stimulus, they at least gave it to the citizens, right? I know it was a chump change of $600, but at least it happened a couple of times. Xi Jinping just wants to funnel money with his method of trickle down economic policies through his friends first. So he wants big flashy things like AI development and research. He wants Chinese branded airplanes. He wants more solar tech, more EVs, and this way he can also funnel money, through the state coffers through his friends, and he gets the relevant kickbacks. But again, this is extremely short-sighted. It just enriches the elites furthermore at the expense of the populace. And
Have you seen what's going on in India?
no, not really.
No, what's going on?
The identical story.
Oh.
There are three. I mean, if you look at the number of the billionaire index, India specific, the divide between the haves and have-nots is like rapidly increasing. It's an exponential curve. It's not even a smooth curve anymore.
India
All
billionaire.
Modi's
Well,
friends are, just reaping the benefits. Reliance is one company. Adani is another company. Oh my
Ooh.
God, they're up. They're just like going up the scale in. Yeah, that's a guy. Modi and all his cronies are running
Mhm.
Indian corporate sector. Not any different from China.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, third world corruption. They're running the same playbook, right?
That's exactly right.
It's never good for the little guy. Yeah, nepotism, double dealing, all the good stuff, funneling money, kickbacks. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like yeah well, the challenge here is that we're going to have multiple third world countries with a billion population, in about 2 to 3 decades, right? So it'll be India, China, kind of, Indonesia, Brazil, and
Nigeria.
Nigeria, but I discount Africa heavily. So um,
And the inequality problem will be huge in all in these countries.
yeah. And again, and then how does the middle class survive? It doesn't.
There won't
So
be any middle class.
yeah, so these very, I mean, again, wealth inequality is an acceptable consequence. Like it raises the ocean. It sounds bad on paper, but when it gets this extreme, uh, you wipe out the middle class, which is the true buffer and stability factor for societal prosperity. But yeah. But yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. Like, okay, it's great to know that, like, okay, that India's going through the same growing pains, I guess. Okay. Oh gosh, it's already 12:30. We're sorry, we're getting a little slow, but yeah, China is the leading country for the organ trade. like if you need any organ, it doesn't matter which one it is, like short of your brain, you can go to China, go to Shanghai, and they will have a genetic match for your blood type, your age, and everything probably within 24 hours. And it'll be fresh. Like, what else can I say? There's a reason why China has one of the best medical databases on the planet for a third world country. It's really surprising. But yeah. And there's multiple like backup, like what's his name? The Saudi royal prince. He has like one or two retainers that are his exact organ matches, and they travel with him 24/7 just in case. And the same thing is available, or same thing is provided for the communistic cadres, especially the inner circle folks. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a very big industry, but it's not talked about. So yeah. Okay, let's talk fun stuff with Tesla. All right. So again, speaking of Modi, Elon blew off his Modi trip to go to Beijing to beg for his FSD data here. So let's take a look. So now supposedly Baidu, or through the vector of Baidu, Beijing has allowed Elon to leave China with the data that was gathered from Tesla vehicles exclusively in China. So Elon wants this data to train his algos for the robotaxi and for full self-driving, or he calls it now supervised full self-driving in America. So to me, gosh, like Elon again is a giant grifter, and he specializes in over-promising and under-delivering. And I totally feel like this robotaxi thing is just a dog and pony. It's a red herring to distract everyone from the huge cluster F that was the Cybertruck and everything else. And again, his best-selling cars are the Model 3 and the Model Y. But then again, these are old cars. These are 7-year-old designs. Like the market is really bored with it already. And there's really cheap alternatives. Like the budget EV space is getting really competitive, like the under $30,000 area. And Tesla has no answer to that. So I feel like there's a lot of problems. And this robo-taxi thing is, again, over-promising everybody. Like your Model 3 is not going to turn into your new multiple stream of income, and you can rent it out. And it's kind of like whatchamacallit. It is a miscalculation of risk where, like in an options context, you're risking something you can't afford to lose for something you don't need. So you have your $30,000 or $40,000, Model 3, and you're gonna rent it out as a robo-taxi to collect what? Maybe $100, maybe $200 a day? Like, let's just even call it if you're that lucky. Like, how is that gonna work? Like Elon is just talking out of his ass just to distract everyone from his colossal failures. So I really feel like this is a nothing burger. But yeah, let's go to the charts and see if anyone else agrees with that, or let's see what the action is in general. Okay, let's see. Tesla. Yeah, they're having a down day again, just treading water with the zero line and lots of sell-offs overall. Yeah, still under its 200 and 500-day moving averages. Yeah, look, like gosh, calls and puts at parity. Yeah, that's pretty bearish. Yeah, I'm not alone. People have lost faith in Elon. And again, he's alienated everybody, right? Like, whether you're liberal or conservative, everyone has a bone to pick with Elon. Like, and again, he's a pussy, right? He backed out of a cage match with freaking Zuckerberg. Like, you're gonna let Mark Zuckerberg like make you look like a little bitch? Like, really? Really? Yeah. Wild. But yeah, Elon needs to put down the ketamine. What can I say? So yeah, weird stuff with China and Tesla. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're running out of time. We gotta fast forward. All right. Ebola gain of function research. Thanks again, China. Or thank you, Beijing. Let's be more specific. Thank you for jailing more journalists than anybody else combined. Um, this is a bullshit story. But yeah, let's see. India and other smaller countries was flipping Russian oil and natural gas to the Eurozone and their traditional customers. So it seems like that slowed down again due to this latest series of Russian sanctions, which included a couple dozen Chinese firms that were supplying raw inputs and weapons or to directly and indirectly to the Russian military. So the US side is threatening to, hey, if you keep doing this, we'll just cut you off swift. And that would that would decimate China's already limited export obsessions. So we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah.
They're doing the same thing. I mean, the US are they not doing the exact same thing by supplying arms to Ukraine and Israel?
Well, of course, but it's okay when they do it, right? Do as I say, not as I do, right? Nothing quite like American hypocrisy.
At its finest.
Yeah, and there's the Kissinger quote, right? What was it? Something like to be a friend of the US is fatal, and to be an ally is dangerous or something. To be Kissinger, to be a friend is fatal. And this is the state of what is it? All right. This is the Secretary of State saying this. It may be dangerous to be America's enemy, but to be America's friend is fatal. Yeah, this is a Kissinger quote. Yeah. And he's still alive. Can you believe this? Like Nixon long dead. You imagine the opening of China in the 70s and Kissinger was there. That's 20 years before entry into WTO. Like the machinations of these Bolsheviks and their long-term plans is just amazing and downright like sinister. Yeah, incredible. Like I have to respect my enemy. Like oh my God, like this guy's been alive for a century. Holy shit. All right, so that's today. Let's do our final poll and call it a day. And so yes,
Warren,
yes sir,
I wanted to ask about one other China issue.
yes sir.
I don't know if you may have covered it earlier. I saw a very interesting article in The Guardian yesterday about how some group in China has created tens of thousands of fake websites claiming to offer high-end merchandise. And they're using these websites to harvest people's credit and debit card data, their email addresses, phone numbers, physical addresses, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I think that's the one.
They had that in the US as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. And people in the US have been getting duped by this.
This is an old hustle, right? Like you see it in like social media spam with bot accounts and whatnot. I haven't really heard about it, but yeah, this is an old scam hustle. And it's
Well, it seems to be getting done on a pretty large scale now.
yeah. I mean maybe I'm on weird lists, but like my phone number, like I keep getting like Chinese spam. Like I don't even get English spam anymore. Like, do you guys have this problem? Like I get random like Chinese you know like I'll say in Mandarin like are you there? And I'll respond fuck you in Chinese.
No, this is kind of hilarious. I actually get Chinese spam on my Google Voice, but
Oh, okay,
not my Hawaii phone number.
I don't respond because they're trying to see if it's a live number, so they send it out to 10,000.
Yeah.
It's a way to check. So if you don't respond, they don't know.
Correct. Yeah. So just report junk and delete with the iOS setting. Yeah. But yeah, it's a shame that these scams are still real. There's what's popular. There's another vector of this, which is through dating apps. It's called the pig butchering scam. We've talked about it in passing before. It's basically you get love bombed via the dating app, and you eventually build up enough trust where they get into trouble and you send money. And if you don't send money, they're gonna die or something. It's really common. They operate out of China, out of the Philippines. It's substantial. And there was this movie, like I talked about before. It's there's a movie about this, and again, one of the intro scenes to this like scam factory had like just endless floors of different hustles going on. Yeah, so just I think you guys have seen, right? Has anyone not seen this clip? I can pull up really quick. And then we'll shift gears for earnings. No more bets. Let me find that scene really quick.
These problems are getting worse though, because if they can find a voice sample from you online, they can now use AI to
That's right. That's a real
impersonate your voice.
100%. That is a real problem. All right. Since we're short on time, like here's the tour of the scam factory. It's about to happen right here. Let me timestamp this, and I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to watch it. It's at 10:35. Yeah, right here. Okay, cool. It's a good scene. It's like 2 minutes. They walk through the floors, and then on the top floor, it's the nude cam girls. It's the Andrew Tate equivalents that they were doing in like Romania. Like the boss walks the new recruit through and like explains like here's their pay, here's their reward and profit sharing, blah 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 blah. You know, the more you do, the more you earn. Yeah, so oh god, I can read that. Yay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's